Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Dr. Sourabh Parpyani, MBBS in DNB Medicine. Done my undergraduation from Government Hospital Indore, and then I did my post graduation in DNB Medicine from Pune. Then, since COVID second wave 2020-21, I am practicing at Gwalior as a consultant physician and attached to multiple hospitals here. Today, I have got an opportunity to present a very small but a very common topic which we encounter in our day to day life, that is a post viral cough. Today's topics we will cover under following headings. That first of all, we'll have a short discussion about what is a post viral cough, what are its symptoms, what is the reason or hypothesis behind the etiology of post viral cough, any infections associated with it, when to consult a doctor, how to diagnose it, and what are the treatment modalities available for post-viral cough. So let's start with this. Now, discussing about what is a post-viral cough. First of all, any cough that is present for more than 3 weeks after the initial viral infection. We usually label it as a post-viral cough. For example, a patient had a viral like illness, he had high grade fever, body ache, sore throat, but now patient has subsided fever, there are no body pains, but the cough is the only symptom which is still persistent and it lasted for around weeks to months. Then we call it as a post viral cough. Talking about the symptomatology of the patient, the most common symptom is a cough. This cough can be either dry or a wet. Wet cough means whenever the cough is associated with mucopurulent expectoration. Other associated symptoms can be hoarseness of voice or frequent throat clearing, which we commonly encounter in our day-to-day clinical practices. Now, considering the hypothesis that why this occurs, so there are one or two hypotheses behind it. Some people say that whenever there is an infection, there is a fight occurring between the bacteria, viruses, and our body's immune system. There is an inflammatory response, and because of this inflammatory response, there is a temporary damage to the airway linings or there is an irritation to airway lining. Another hypothesis is whenever there is an infection, there is an increased sensitivity of cough reflex, which leads thereby whenever there is a minimal trauma or a trivial trigger, there is a cough response. As far as infections are associated, there are certain common infections like flu, common cold. Talking about the flu, this flu is a contagious disease. The flu is transmitted through the droplet infections or whenever there is a contaminated surface by droplets, then it is transmitted. The main symptoms are persistent dry cough. The flu patient is contagious since till next 4 to 5 days of his fever. So the patients are advised to stay at home whenever they are sick, so that other persons do not catch it. Next, infection can be a common cold. Then there is a bronchitis. As the name suggests, bronchitis means inflammation of bronchus leading to the mucus buildup. Another common infection which we see is a pneumonia. Pneumonia is an infection of the lung parenchyma which causes a constellation of symptoms in which there is a fever, high grade fever, there is a cough, there are body aches, and associated with breathing difficulty. This pneumonia can be caused by a variety of viruses, bacteria, or fungus. The main predominant symptom can be a dry or a wet cough. There is another entity called as croup. Croup is a viral inflammation around the vocal cords, thereby leading to the hoarseness of voice. There is also a barking like cough. There can be a stridor. Whenever patient is taking a deep inspiration, there is a sound and associated with breathing difficulties. If we talk about the another illness, there is a bronchiolitis, which is an inflammation of bronchus. It is associated with cough and wheezing. If we talk about another symptom, there is a pharyngitis. Pharyngitis is a very common infection of the pharynx, which we commonly refer to as sore throat. There can be a predominant symptom of a cough. Now, post-viral cough means patient has got rid of fever. There is no body ache, just a persistent cough which is lasting for more than 3 weeks. So there are a particular few set of patients where we have to consult a nearby doctor. Now, whenever the cough symptoms are so much bothersome or they are troubling you so much, then you have to consult your nearby doctor. If your symptoms are very much severe, if the symptoms are affecting your activities of daily living, if there is a persistent cough which is not responding to conventional home remedies, any cough which is lasting for more than a 3 weeks or more than a one month, then you have to visit your nearby doctor because there are other possibilities of infections also. So you have to rule out other causes of chronic cough. If your cough is associated with a prolonged fever, a prolonged shortness of breath, if the cough is associated with a chest pain, or there is a blood in your sputum, these all symptomatic etiologies require a prompt physician checkup to rule out any other diseases, most commonly being pneumonia, or sometimes it can be a lung cancer also, where you can get a chronic cough associated with breathing difficulty and a blood mixed sputum. If we talk about the diagnosis part of a post-viral cough, then the diagnosis relies mainly on the two parameters, which are first of all a classic history of a viral infection, but the fever, body ache has been subsided, cough has been persistent, and its duration, that is lasting for more than 3 weeks, weeks to months. It can be a post viral cough. But before diagnosing it, as we have discussed earlier, we have to rule out any other causes like pulmonary tuberculosis, lung cancers, pneumonia, any throat infection, throat inflammation, and other things. To rule out these causes, we have to get a CBC done to look for infection, CRP levels to look for any inflammatory markers. We have to check sputum specimen also to see whether there are any other bacteria or organisms present in it. Then we can get a chest X-ray done to look for consolidation, pneumonia, tuberculosis signs. CT scan can be done at a later stage if there is a suspicion of malignancy, lung cancers. So, to diagnose a patient having a post-viral cough, you should have a cough duration more than 3 weeks. There should be a preceding history of a viral fever. Chest X-ray should be normal. There should be no signs of infection on CBC, and the sputum examination should also be normal in such cases. Now, if we talk about once you have made the diagnosis, now treatment part. For treatment, most of the post-viral cough are self-remitting, self-resolving with time. But if the some symptoms are bothering you so much, then you can seek a physician care. Treatment modalities usually consist of either medications or the home remedies. If we talk about the home remedies, then the patient is advised to have a salt water gargles, lukewarm water, can use any home-based haldi or antiseptic solutions. Patient has to give a voice rest. The more he will speak, the more cough he'll get. So it is advised patient to not to talk more. It there can be also inhale the air with humidified air, humidified oxygen. We can get kala and some other homemade remedies also, that also we can take. If medication part is concerned, there are a few subset of medications usually prescribed for a patient of post-viral cough, which includes an inhaled ipratropium. This inhaled ipratropium is an anticholinergic which opens up the airways and prevents the mucus from building up, thereby giving a good symptomatic relief to our patient. One can also use oral or inhaled corticosteroids if there are no contraindications to the patients. These steroids are usually anti-inflammatory and these reduce inflammation, reduce mucus production, thereby opening up the airways and giving the symptomatic relief to our patients. There are some few cough suppressants also present in the market. Now, if depending on the patient is having either dry cough or a wet cough, for dry cough, usually we can give a dextromethorphan based combination. We can give a levodroprophazine based combination or a new levo. Okay, so let's moving on to the next subset of medicines which we can take. It includes the over-the-counter decongestants, which includes pseudoephedrine and other sort of medications. As far as home remedies are concerned, the patient is advised to drink warm liquids, which can include tea or broth, soup, or any homemade kala. We can use a humidifier or take a steamy shower. This adding moisture to the air, this helps in soothing your airways and potentially loosening your mucus, thereby giving a symptomatic relief to our patients. We should avoid any sort of irritants to our throat, the most commonly being the cigarette smoke or the polluted air or the agarbatti or diyas which we use in our homes. We should avoid that. So this was all about the today's topic. In summarize, if we want to take the highlight points, then the post viral cough, there is nothing serious. It will get spontaneously resolved over the time. If the symptoms are troublesome, you can visit your nearby physician. And but one thing which you should keep in mind, that any cough lasting for more than 3 weeks, first of all, you have to rule out other important diseases like TB or any other things. And after that, label it as a post viral cough and accordingly manage it.